Hey guys, welcome back to Kelly's Creations. I'm so glad you're here. So today's video, I am going to attempt my first attempt at air dry clay. So first we're going to start with an old bottle. This was a skinny syrup bottle, and I'm just using some nail polish remover to clean that bottle up real good, get all the residue off. Now I'm going to use Waverly and plaster, and I'm just going to tap on paint all over the bottle. If you use these sponge brushes, it works so much better, and you can just tap it on. You get a really cool effect on the bottle. I'm also going to be using an old Starbucks bottle, and then I'm just going to be using one of these little, I guess it's a little plastic bottle from Dollar Tree with a lid, and we're going to make 3 different ones. So I use school glue and water to make my little mixture for decoupaging. I showed you those spoons in the prior video, and I'm using Crayola air dry clay. Now these are just copyright free images I printed on my printer. And if you watch my last tips and tricks video, I showed you how to peel the back layer off of an image you printed to be able to decoupage a lot easier. So I cut it out and then used my little mixture to put it on the bottle. Trying to be careful because, as I have stated many times, if you get this too wet, you're going to have more of a watercolor effect, and which is fine, but we're not going for that right now. So I put some wax paper over it to smooth out those little wrinklies, which I still had a couple, and I just added the wax paper back and just kept smoothing. Now my silicone molds that I'm going to use, I got off on Amazon. If you are interested for a close-up look, you can click the link below and it will take you right to them. These were just random molds I picked out. So now I'm going to try the air dry clay. This was oh my gosh, this was my first time doing this, and it actually was so much fun once you get the right amount, I guess. If you put too much, you have to kind of just scrape off the top of it. You want a smooth layer, kind of smooth it out so it matches your silicone mold. I don't even know if I'm making any sense right now. You just want it to be flat and flush with the mold. There we go. So yeah, here's me just trying to figure it out. Now I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so how do you get this out of the mold once you have it in? So I flipped it over and I kind of used this tool. I bought a whole bunch of I guess they're woodworking tools for this. They're called woodworking tools, but I'm using them for the clay. So I kind of just guided it out. Very surprised how much flexibility you have. You would think if you mash on it too much, you're gonna ruin the design, but really you have a little play. Once I had it out, I added a little more school glue to the back, and then I just started placing it on the bottle, gluing it down. My first attempt, I did break one side of it off. So I just kind of mashed it back together. But this is so much fun. I love the details. I love how you can take a bottle that you would have normally tossed in the trash and turn it into just this beautiful piece of art. If you like decorating with bottles, then this is perfect for you. And it's a lot of fun. And once I get the ins and outs and wrinkles out of it, I'm sure I'll be much better. But for my first attempt, I don't think this turned out too shabby. It's beautiful. It's a picture of a mother looking down at her daughter. And then I just outlined it with these awesome little molds and clay, which kind of just brought that bottle up to a next level. Now you see me doing it again with a different design in the mold and putting it around the top of the bottle to add some accents to the top as well. When you get to the area where it just doesn't quite fit, since it's clay, you can just pull it off, use your fingers, and maneuver it down so it looks like one cohesive piece going around the top. I did set this aside and I let it dry overnight. Then I came in with some moss from Waverly chalk paint, and I painted on the clay all around with the moss. Now, here's, of course, it's a personal preference what image you print out, what colors you use, but you can pretty much paint any color on this clay to make it fit your style and your decor in your home. So right now you're going to see me just going over the clay I put, the top of the bottle and the decorative clay around the image, painting it moss. This bottle is so pretty. Oh my goodness. And it looks so vintage. So to kick it up a notch, I'm going to use some metallic and gold. And I'm just going to cut a piece off of my foam brush and dab that gold right onto the green. And that just kind of elevates all the details in the clay and really makes this piece come alive. And you can add the gold to pretty much any color that you choose on here. If it was black, you can put gold on it, or silver. It just highlights all the details and really makes this come together and makes it look aged and vintage and more of one cohesive piece. So for bottle number 2, I did the same thing, painted it the same way, printed out an image and put it on the bottle and smoothed out the wrinkles with wax paper. And then I set it on this little stand that I made for bottles. If you want to see how I made that, go check out my last video of tips and tricks. That stand works perfect for when you're doing bottle decor videos. You're not doing bottle decor videos. When you're doing bottle decor DIYs. I did it the same way, except this time I have a silicone mold that looks like hinges. And I thought it would be cool to make a couple hinges and kind of offset them where you wouldn't be looking at the bottle straight on at the image. It would be looking at the bottle with the image going to the side with the hinges. And the same way I glued it down and then painted over it. And this time I wanted it to look more of a vintage, older bottle. So I wanted it to look patinaed and rusted out and just an older looking bottle for this one. So I got this mold from Walmart in the cake and candy aisle, and I was going to do some embellishments on the top of the bottle using this mold. I didn't like the way this mold was. It's a harder mold. It's not flexible like the little silicone molds. And it worked fine doing this part, but when I tried to get it out, I just could not remove it. Now, again, this is my first attempt, so it's probably my error, but let me talk some more about that. Guys, I just wanted to hop on real quick because this would have been kind of hard to just explain with my hands. So, I bought this mold that you see me using, okay, at Walmart, and it was in the I think it was like for maybe candy or chocolate, and it's silicone. It's harder, and I don't know if I'm just not letting it dry long enough. I'm being probably impatient, but I couldn't get the clay out of it. Now, in last week's tips and tricks video, I showed you how to use hot glue. So we're going to go with that method. So you're going to see me change it up a little bit. Now, these silicone molds that I bought off of Amazon, you can see a lot more bendy, thicker. I probably wouldn't buy this again. Definitely would buy these again off Amazon because you can bend it and it comes out. Because this is probably not meant for what I'm using it for, you can't bend them enough to get it out, or I'm not letting it dry enough. I don't know. One of the two. That's why this video is called my first time using air clay and not the best way to do this. I'm just going along for the ride with you guys because I've never done this before. So kind of learning as I go. But I just wanted to hop on real quick and let you know. Probably won't do this again. It is perfect though for hot glue. And I'm even going to try to do the hot glue like beading. We're going to try that, as you're going to see next. This is perfect for the air dry clay. So I just wanted to hop on, say hi guys, I miss you. Thank you all. I love you so much, and you guys are so sweet and so supportive, and we just kind of learn together, I guess. I'm not a professional, never said I was. I just like to craft and come up with crazy wacky ideas to show you. So probably not great for hot glue, perfect for my air dry clay. If you're interested, I will link these down below as an affiliate link. You do not have to buy them, but if you just want to see how much they are and check them out on Amazon, it's a quick link for you guys. If you end up purchasing them, great. I get a tiny little commission from it, but no pressure. But I will link these down below so you guys can see them, okay? Let's get back to crafting. Okay, so I decided to use the trick that I learned using hot glue instead, because I knew it would dry and I would be able to get it out of the mold a lot easier. So again, the harder molds that you can find at Walmart for, cake decorating, if you want to do hot glue embellishments, they work perfect. So I added some hot glue into the mold, let it dry, and went that avenue instead of with the clay. You still get a beautiful embellishment on your piece without the headache of trying to remove the clay out of this mold. What's great about hot glue molds is just add a little bit of hot glue and you can attach it to your jar. What's really funny about this, and I didn't know at the time, but you can't tell that much of a difference between the clay molds and the hot glue molds. So just make sure your hot glue is fully cooled down before you attempt to move it, because I don't want anybody burning their little fingers doing this. You'll see it turns like a creamy white instead of clear, and once it turns that color, it's pretty much safe to remove it. So then I decided to come in and start painting. I painted the top and I painted the hinges, and then I'll come in with some gold and accent that molds to really highlight all the details and really make them pop and come alive. On this bottle, I also decided to paint the white. I wanted this to look really aged and vintage. So I came in throughout the whole bottle and went over it in the gold as well.
I watch you as you dry. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along. And I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay complete. Do you know how much I love you? I put your favorite song on just to wake you up. When I dance around, I can't help but feeling I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I'm loving this moment.
For bottle number 3, I did the same thing as the first 2, except this time instead of printing out an image, I'm going to use one of my Pioneer Woman napkins, and I'm going to put that on the bottle. Then I'm going to come in with the clay and the paint just like I did in the previous 2, and use a different clay mold on the front. I'm trying to think. I think it's the lock, or I don't even know what the key where you put your key, and I'm going blank, ha 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 ha. I don't, what is it, like the key, where you put your key to open the door. Anyway, you know what I mean, and you'll see. And I'm just like playing around with different molds I got and trying to see how they look and get different effects on each one of the jars. And what I did notice is I need to learn how to, when it dries, not have so many cracks. So I'm going to do a little bit more research and see if you're supposed to maybe do a coat of water over it or something. There's got to be something out there to avoid it cracking when you let it dry. If you guys have used clay molds, please leave in the comments below what you do to eliminate cracking. That part I'm really not sure about. Like I said, this is my first attempt. This video was just to like kind of walk you through me trying this for the first time. It's not really like a tutorial where I'm showing the best way to do it, because I don't know, because I'm still learning. I just thought it would be fun to bring you guys along for the ride, to share my experience with my first attempt using air dry clay. So I did add a wooden finial to the top of this, and now I'm just adding embellishments to the top around that finial. I'm going to set this aside. I'm going to let it dry overnight. Then I'm going to come in with some really pretty like peach colored paint to paint the top and the bottom of this. And again, I'm going to go over it with the gold to bring out those beautiful highlights, and we'll see what the finished product looks like.
Forever, I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever. 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 I watch you as you drive. Do you know I'm looking? Forever, I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here?
This was a lot of fun to do, and I can't wait to learn more and really learn how to do this the correct way. But for my first attempt, I think all 3 came out really pretty. My favorite is probably the first one I did. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and have you used air dry clay before? Do you like it? And give me some tips on to eliminate cracking or maybe pulling it out of the mold. I would love to hear your suggestions. I hope you guys liked coming along for the ride on my first attempt at this, and I love you guys so much. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos, and if you really liked it, consider subscribing to my channel. We're one big happy family. I love y'all. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day, and I'll see you next Sunday, guys. Bye, y'all.